Okay. And there we go. We're live. Good afternoon, everybody. It's another Monday, and that means I get to spend some time with my Nancy, my
Oh,
Miss Nancy,
oh, we have such
and
a good time.
our fellow goddesses um, in chat, even the gentlemen who come in and
Yes.
share their inner goddess and beauty with us. So it is Monday. I hope everybody. It's a little warm. There goes the fan again. It's so weird when I talk and I see this one horn. Well, it's a horn. We're talking about the white buffalo calf woman today. Um, so I hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Lots of shows, and thank you everybody for popping into, including Miss Nancy, into Jeff and I's poetry. And over the weekend, Miss Tarot D on my channel, and then with Ramon, it was wonderful. And hello, Miss Jackie Jacaranda has joined us. But first person here was this beautiful lady who had her very first live show last night. So Amanda went live for the first time.
And I missed
Um,
it. Oh, don't.
I thought you were in there, but yeah, you
No.
weren't feeling well. So but
I'm
Amanda
sorry I
was
missed it, Amanda.
well,
But
she
I'll
gave
watch the
beautiful
replay,
readings.
okay?
She gave me a beautiful reading. She gave people beautiful. It was I had to go for a while, but I came back and um, I wanted to make sure my energy was in a good place. And she was like, Miss Heather, sweetheart, beautiful. Let me pull some cards if you'll let me. And I'm like, sure, let's pull some cards. So thank you, Amanda. And the other Amanda, Mama Sushi, which I am excited at some point. I'm going to be a guest on her channel, and she's going to, when she
Wonderful.
gets settled, she's going to come and join us. Let's see this. Jackie's here. Viviani is here. And on the 18th, Viviani is coming to my channel. And we're going to be doing animal totem readings and spirit messages.
Ooh.
So come find out what animal, or and it doesn't even include a regular physical animal. It could be an insect as well. That might have a message for you. So, and as I started saying that, I heard Agador start singing. So everybody, we can't see him, but his name is Agador. And yes, we hear you, my dear. Thank you for being with
Oh,
us too.
hey.
Um, let's see. She's here. We were just talking about your live, my dear. Congratulations. So everybody is saying hello. Viviani's saying hello. Um, so I hope again everybody had a wonderful weekend. It's been hot again, but you know what? It's summer. But
Yes.
yes, happy Agador. That's what we love to hear. And boy, for people, Nancy was telling me, Amy, Oregon, East West Coast, hot, hot, hot. So much love to my upcoming fellow Oregonians. I'm
Yeah.
making sure I say that because, hopefully I will be welcomed.
I mean, if it's 110 degrees, what is the heat index?
I don't know. It depends on if they have humidity, what the real feel. So we're going down south more. Well, we're going to be down
Yeah.
at pretty much at the bottom, almost into California where we want to
Uh-huh.
go. And look who's here, Miss Jane. Hello, Miss Jane.
And
Hope you and the fur babies are doing well. We got Sonia here. Hello, Sonia. So yeah, it's going to be hot for a couple days here, but then it's going to cool off a little. I just wish I was by a beach. Am I moving to Grants Pass? No, that was one of Shan's favorite places, but for me, my heart is for Ashland. I don't know if we'll be able to move there immediately. We might have to do Medford for a while till we get established and on our feet. Who knows? But I'm telling the universe, if I don't have to do that, I'll just keep saying, Ashland, or like Val said, or even better. I'm like, how can it get better than Ashland? It has the world famous um, Shakespeare Festival every summer. They have multiple beautiful art studios.
mm,
They have several beautiful metaphysical stores. One of them is called Sound Peace. I got to see some of their videos and the crystals and everything. Hi, da da. And they have the Lithia Park. absolutely gorgeous. Cannot wait to paint and draw. They have deer that naturally walk through, the town, especially in the evening. People don't harm them. They're not afraid of people. And so it's just everything I keep seeing. It just says, Heather, Heather. So, Medford. Well, yeah, I mean, like every city, Medford has some of its rough areas, but we do have an organization based in Medford called Access that will be helping Shan and I. Once we get there, they'll help us with rent and help us finding a place and get us settled, especially with Shan being an Oregonian himself and military, being a veteran. So we're looking very much forward to it. And I saw that Nora is here. Hello, Nora. Um, all righty. And
And
just so
Karen is here too, Care Bear.
Care Bear.
She's
Where's Care?
driving, so
Oh, so yes,
her
eyes
eyes
on
on
there.
the
She
road.
is eyes on the road. So let's see. Sonia says it's 91 here, feels like 104. Yep, depending on the heat index. So
Well, it's hot in the mountains here, but nothing like y'all are having. So
yeah.
I should just be quiet and not complain.
Well,
Because it always cools off at night.
when I lived in Arizona and we were up in the mountains, where they get all four seasons. Um, Even though we didn't get as hot as Phoenix and all of them down there, but because we were higher up, we were more with the UV rays. So sometimes the 83, the 85 kind of felt like a 90. And you had to make sure that you had, sunscreen on. But otherwise, yeah, you wake up in the morning, it'd be like, 50 degrees out during the summer. It'd be like kind of like, ooh, burr. But then by the time that burned off in the afternoon, you're up into the, 80s, 90s. And at night, there were times when I would have to get up to pick up Shan in the morning from work because he did the overnights at Walmart. I would get up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, go out, start the car, and there'd be frost. It'd be like 8 degrees, or sometimes. But then by the afternoon, even during sometimes the winter, it would get back up to about 45 or so. So it's the weather patterns are changing. The earth is changing. And I know, Amanda, you got to have your move, and I get to have mine next year. So, yay! We'll have to have like a move-in party or something special next year. We'll do a live, and we can celebrate our new homes. Yes.
I'm excited for you.
Just remember to visit the Silver Falls. I know, Amanda, you mentioned you're in Dundee, I think it is. We're not familiar yet, but we did finally get our state map of for topographical and stuff for Oregon. So we'll be definitely checking that out. And we'll get a fold out map to look at some of the streets. So
Sonia, are you thinking about moving to Asheville?
Oh, yes, thinking around Asheville or the mountains, but she loves the water. Oh, there's plenty of water
we
too.
have the most beautiful mountain streams here. And beautiful lakes too.
And mystical mountains.
Yes, ancient mountains.
I learned something last week about the mountains, the Appalachian Mountains that come through. There's a channel. I can't remember his name right now for his channel, but he lives in the South, and he talks about the paranormal and things in and around the states and the legends and the lore. And they're thinking that there's been evidence of a race of people that were peacefully cohabitating with the indigenous people before Columbus and everything. And they were very tall. They had fair skin, very hazel to light eyes, light brown to blonde hair, I believe. And they're thinking that they came from Ireland, that they're thinking that they might be descendants of the Celtic Tuatha. And so they were known as the Duhar people. And so that's something very fascinating video.
Well, some of the people that live back in the true hills and little crevices and valleys, you know, they came from Ireland and they came from England, and they were so well, there was just solitude around them. There wasn't anybody else,
Mm-hmm.
And for years and decades, they still had their accents, you know. And then the mountain people would come in, and it you know, it kind of morphed into this really unique type
Mm-hmm.
of language. Yeah, there's a movie out called The Song Catcher, and it's the story of how their music was. A woman went in with when the recorders were brand new, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't electrified. She had to do like this, and she recorded their music, and it was
Wow.
it was like nobody else's, because they had, you know, been so I don't know, I can't think of the word, it's not solitude, but you know what I'm talking about. But anyway,
Yes.
very, very interesting. Yeah.
Beautiful. And talking about the mountains and the indigenous people today, Nancy and I are going to be talking about white calf buffalo woman, or also known as white buffalo pipe woman as well. And we thought, well, perfect, because timing, because there was a baby white buffalo that was just recently born.
Mhm.
And I asked Nancy if she could find a little bit of information on the baby and tell us a little bit, and then I would go and I would pull out. I have a couple books here. One that I bought in Sedona just before I left.
Ah,
That gives the story of White Buffalo Calf Woman. Retells the native story, and I have some cards. So I'm just going to open that up to you, Nancy. Miss Nancy.
well, the what I found. Well, first of all, let's do this. Let me show you. I've got some pictures on my phone of
Okay.
the little buffalo, and this is right after it was born.
Aww.
And then this is it's just hanging out with the herd, and this was the day it was born.
Aww.
Yeah. And the little white buffalo was born on June 4th of this year, 2024, in Lamar Valley, Wyoming, which is part of Yellowstone. And a lot of people got pictures, because where it dropped and was born was where there were a lot of tourists around.
Mm-hmm.
And they named it Wakan Gil, WAKAN
Walking.
GIL, which means return sacred in Lakota.
Beautiful.
And the white buffalo fulfills a native prophecy of prosperity to come. What I found is that a buffalo calf, when born, 1 out of 5 does not survive after birth, usually due to natural hazards. And the odds of a white buffalo being born is 1 in a million.
Ooh.
And
I
it's
just got chills.
a rare natural phenomena. And nobody has seen, since that first day, nobody has seen this buffalo. They don't know. I mean, I couldn't tell whether it was a girl or a boy. You know, I didn't find anything that said that. But they think that it is hiding away from the places where tourists gather. It's not close to roads, or you know, the places that tourists get and take pictures and stuff. And I couldn't find anything anywhere that said that this calf had been stolen.
Yeah, I'm sure it's being protected by the local tribes to make sure that
that's
it
what
lives.
I think. But this is a quote from one of the heads of the tribe of the Lakota. I guess it's the Lakota Nation. It's whether it's dead or alive, the message has been relayed from the heavens, and times are different now. We have to make changes for the future.
Perfect timing.
Mm-hmm.
We're kind of at the precipice of change.
Yes, yes. So I thought that was very interesting. That's all that I could find really, other
Well,
than
thank
just,
you.
you know, all the articles said basically the same thing because there's not a whole lot of information on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, so white buffalo calf woman, or also known with the word pipe put in it because she brought the sacred pipe to her people. So what I'm going to be reading from first, and I'm so glad I didn't donate this book yet. I was going to try to donate it or give it away, and I'm glad I didn't. I bought this just before I left Arizona. I got this in Sedona, actually at the Crystal Castle on Highway 179. So I wonder if they're still in business. And it's The Path of the White Buffalo. And he has meditations and it even comes with a CD. So I might, I don't have the CD player anymore, but at some point I'll have to re listen. And I'm going to start in the back because there's a glossary. And for under White Buffalo Calf Pipe Woman, it says White Buffalo Calf Pipe Woman brought the gift of the sacred pipe and other ceremonies to the Lakota or Sioux peoples. Throughout time, her story has been told to remind the people of the sacredness of life and that we must walk the earth in a good way, in balance with all of our relations. And so I'm going to move up to the actual story. And I accidentally took out there we go. So just bear with me, people. I want to share the story. And hello, Linda. Linda is here. Linda Sandoval. Thank you, my dear. And Amanda says, "Oh wow, that is rare, Nancy. Those pictures." So yes, very, and 1 in a million. Oh my goodness. So I think that's what her comment was. Um, yeah, Sonia, I don't resonate with Sterling. So like with most people, just take what people share with a grain of salt.
Oh,
Uh,
Heather, not to interrupt you, but
sure.
the Sedona Crystal Castle is open as we speak.
It is open.
Mm-hmm.
Great. They're
So
still in business.
if we could transport ourselves there, we could see some really neat stuff.
Oh my gosh. Excuse us, everybody. Did you see that? Boy, that was a great trip. People will be like, but you didn't leave. Oh, you sure that we didn't leave? And Linda, I do believe, if I remember correctly, is of Native descent. And they are rare, she said. Yes. That's why we wanted to make sure that we try to be as respectful and honoring because I still feel I may have ancestors in this lifetime, and I want to make sure that not just my ancestors that I may have, but people I call friends in the area and around that are Native people that have shared some of their spiritual and their culture, with me. I prize that greatly. So, the story of White Buffalo Calf Pipe Woman and the Sacred Pipe. So, as two hunters searched for buffalo out on the plains, they noticed a strange figure in the far distance. It was coming directly toward them, surrounded by a bright light. When it came closer, they recognized it as a beautiful woman with a bundle on her back. The two hunters looked upon this woman in very different ways. One approached her with lustful intent, and she embraced him in her robe as if in welcome. The other hunter stood aside and watched as mist surrounded her for a moment. When the mist cleared, the woman opened her arms to reveal the bones of his hunting partner.
Ooh, she showed him.
The second man looked at this woman with amazement. He had no intention of harming her, but as with all true warriors, he wished to serve all his relations in a good way. Recognizing her power, he asked her to come teach his people, and she agreed. He returned to his camp to prepare a lodge for her and gathered the people to meet her. She came to the people and opened her bundle to show them the sacred pipe made of catlinite and the lawn stem made of wood. She told them to use the pipe in sacred rites to remind the people of their oneness and to represent a union of all within the circle of life. She showed them how to pray with the pipe, raising their voices to the Great Spirit. She reminded them that each day is holy, and whatever you do to your relations, animals, winged ones, swimmers, plant, mineral, creepy crawlers, star beings, ancestors, and generations to come, you do to yourself. We are all connected. White Buffalo Calf Pipe Woman's message still applies. With this in mind, here in the North, you are called to prayer. So, in the sacred medicine wheel, the White Buffalo and Buffalo Calf Woman is called and honored in the place of the North. Don't worry about how your prayers sound. In these turbulent times, we cannot stress enough that prayer is needed. Use whatever form of prayer feels right for you. Remember, it is just you and the great mystery. Speak with gratitude for what you have and for what you envision. Pray for self, loved ones, community, world, all our relations, and the earth. Pray for the highest truth, the greatest good, only love, to harm none. Pray in your car or in the shower or eating dinner, anywhere, any place, and any time. And that's her story that they shared in the book. If anybody's interested, it's called Path of the White Wolf, an introduction to the Shaman's Way. It's written by two women. One woman, Robin Tequalis Youngblood. She is of Cherokee and Okanagan descent. And co-author Sandy de Entremont is a sacred fire keeper and ceremonial singer. Doesn't mention specifically if she belongs to a certain clan, tribe, or nation. But she works for the Universal Medicine Wheel. And that's what I had to share from this book. And I was sharing with Nancy backstage. I thought, well, I think I'm going to see if they have any cards on, White Buffalo Woman in here. And I haven't used this deck in a while. So I opened up the box. I pulled out the cards like this. And I said, well, I need to grab one for, a page to, to share a bookmark, excuse me. So I just picked up the first card that was on the top. White Buffalo. So again, and Nancy, did you want to share your crystal?
Oh, I'm absolutely besotted with preonite, and I keep this by my bed, and I had gotten the information on the little white buffalo, and I looked over at my preonite, and to me it looked like a little baby buffalo. Let's see. Can you see this? Wait a minute. Let me hold it like this.
There we go.
That's the tail, and this is the. Get him even. There we go. I don't know. It looks like a buffalo to me. If I can get him. There we go.
See, and Agador concurs.
Yes. Yes, he's like, let me out of my cage, Mama.
So we've had a few people coming in when I was reading. Scott is here. So let me just back up a little bit because I want to make sure I don't miss everybody. So, okay. Hello, Scott. He's a lurkin. Thank you for hanging out with us. Garnet, Nancy, my darling, hello and good evening. So Garnet is with us. Hello, Garnet. So what's Linda? You do have roots. Don't let anybody tell you you don't. Well, Ancestry.com tried telling me that, but they don't have it all. They're helpful. They help me discover new parts of myself I didn't know existed with my family, which was fascinating. But yeah. Let's see. It's made my day, Nancy. So I think, I don't know if it was something that you were sharing while I was reading, but he says whatever it was, it made his day.
Oh,
So
well, good.
thank you, he said.
I have two
Um,
pictures of the buffalo
okay,
woman that oops,
here we go.
you didn't have to embiggen me.
Well, that one there is beautiful. I
Um,
love the one on that one right there. That's
one,
gorgeous.
this one,
Yes,
uh-huh,
because the other ones I have are a little too
yeah,
ideal. You know,
yeah. I,
I love that.
out of all the goddess decks that I have, that's the only two that I could find of buffalo calf woman.
Heather blooming among the wild thyme. Hello, I love that. Um, let's see, Nancy. I love your top. Beautiful. I love wolves. It's my spirit animal, and so is my Shans.
Yeah.
So we are a wolf household here, besides the kitties. And Sonia says, "Beautiful. Yes, love native cultures. Been in my past lives, and two of daughters are part of this time. Oh, beautiful.
Well,
And then,
the buffaloes have always been so sacred to the Native Americans, and
mhm.
what we did, what our race did, um, and just killing all those buffalo and just for the skins, and they were sacred. I mean, I can't even begin to realize the feeling that they must have had when they would come across these buffaloes that had been skinned and just left, you
and
know.
and and they did that too to destroy their spirits, or to try to destroy their
Oh my
spirits.
goodness.
That was their main food source. When
Oh,
some of
yeah.
them, that was a main food
Mhm.
source, and means to survival. And it's unfortunate. There's
But
been so
then they
much
took the
atrocity
life of
between
one. It
both.
was a sacred thing because it
Hmm.
was allowing them to live. They,
And I think this was around, I think, just before I left for Arizona or Massachusetts. It was around, I think, 97 or 98. A pure white deer stag, had been spotted in a town that I had grew up in a little bit, um, about an hour from here. And there was a business, and nobody touched it. They were like, "Oh, this is beautiful. This is everyone felt the sacred of this animal." A guy who owned a local automotive repair shop went out and killed it. I don't know what became of him, if anything happened to him with the people in the community. But deer hunting season, I'm going to go out. He wanted that deer. He had a point to prove.
well,
So
we had
breaks my heart.
this has been like maybe 10 years ago. There was this deer that came down into like a meadow. You could see it from the bypass, and
Hmm.
everybody loved that deer. I mean, it was so gentle, and I don't know if it was a doe or um, a daddy deer, but one night somebody killed that deer, and they found out who it was, and of course, I mean, he was charged because I don't think he had a hunting license, but I mean, he was like fine. But the really cool thing is that everybody in the community ostracized him.
Good,
Nobody wanted anything to do with him, and he finally moved away.
good.
Yeah.
And Garnet says there used to be thousands of buffaloes across the plains of America. Yep.
Yes. Yes.
And Linda says I used to ride my horses at the base of Thunder Mountain.
Now there are what I read, but I did not put in my little report, is now there are 3,000 to 6,000
Buffalo.
buffalo left.
And people ask, is that why buffalo's called buffalo? I don't know. We really don't have any around here, so it's interesting that they chose to call, buffalo buffalo. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Um, so there was a little something else I wanted to share before we open the floor, and if there was anything Miss Nancy else wanted to share. So what I plan to do for readings today in honor of White Buffalo Calf Women and the White Buffalo. Um, I'm going to just read what this card represents in the book. And when people want a reading, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle and I'm going to find where this card is. And I'm going to look at the card on both sides of it. And that will be the message.
I love that. We thought of that.
Before I read this, is there anything that you want to share? What decks you brought or anything?
Oh, I just have some of my Divine Feminine decks that I pulled out, and so that's what I'll read with. I've got the Dream Goddess, the Goddess Dream, and the Goddess Love oracles, and Mother Mary and Kuan Yin, the Divine Feminine, and
she has a deck. You have said there's an app for that. There's a deck for that. So whatever question comes up, she has a deck for that.
I don't know.
Okay, Linda. Yes, you never ask for readings. I know that you come in and you lurk quietly. So yes, we will definitely read for you. So if anybody would like a reading, you know the drill. Me in big caps, so my eyes can see. Miss Jackie Jacaranda, of course, my dear. Jackie and bouncing back and forth between Miss Tarot D's chat the other day and Scott's, and it was so much fun, seeing Miss Tarot D back on the big screen. Back on with
love
us.
her.
Yep, I saw yours, my dear. Me, okay, I got so far. I have Linda, Jackie, and Amanda, Twisted Sushi. So I definitely would like to do Linda first.
Okay.
If I have new people coming in requesting, I would like to take those people first. And Nancy and I just please ask you, if you would like a reading, please let us know. And of course in the me, but if you have to go, please let us know and we will take you off the list. So that we can open that spot up for somebody who could really use. And it's respectful to the readers as well, and to your fellow chatters. And it's good to have feedback too from people who ask. So, and I know there's multiple shows going on right now, but we just please that you respect our time and our space, and that's all I will have to say. So I'm going to put myself on mute to shuffle, and I'm going to put Nancy in the big seat because she gets her cards usually done first. So.
Well, Linda, I have 3 cards for you, and they have very simple messages, but they're powerful messages. The first one is to remember who you are. Sometimes we forget. And this has been brought home to me recently. Who I used to be, and I was a wife and a mother, and now I'm a widow, but I am in many ways returning to who I was before I became a wife and a mother. And I guess that's the way it's supposed to be for me. But we all need to remember who we are and what we bring to the collective and to the people in our lives. The second card is the card of peace, to open your heart. And, sometimes when we open our heart, we get hurt, but that shouldn't deter us because it's so important. What the world needs now is love. That's so true because, we're living in such strange times. So if we remember who we are and we are filled with peace and love, we have to be a light that shines to everyone around us. The final card is the card of Moon Lore, and it says the ebb and flow. And, you know, we just had a new moon, and I set my intentions. It's important to do that. Um, but there's something about the moon that is magical. And I think you need to remember the magic. There's magic all around us, you know. And of course, I find magic in nature. I mean, I just love watching the birds and seeing my flowers bloom and everything. And these are three beautiful positive cards for you, Linda. And I hope that you can apply them to your life. You may already be doing all of this, and that's wonderful. This is just a confirmation of what you're doing is right on track. That's what I have for you.
Oh, that's beautiful. And I just put in the comments, I just love how Agador starts to sing along with your readings. That was so beautiful.
Uh-huh.
It just warms my heart when I hear him do that.
Mm-hmm.
So Linda, so this is the chance to read what in the book here for the white buffalo. So this is the card, and for the white buffalo, um, it's a little bit of a read, but so that way when people get their other two cards, I don't have to repeat. So this is going to be the one time that I read for this card. So the card meaning is abundance and security are flowing into your life. All things are possible. Balance and harmony prevail. You may be called upon to stand up for others, but you can do this because you have the support of many beings in the spirit realm. Your native spirit wants you to know. In the traditions, there are prophecies about the coming of the white buffalo, especially among the Lakota, Dakota, and the Nakota, or the Sioux. There's a legend that white buffalo calf woman, a mystical being, came to the people a very long time ago when they were out of balance, kind of like how we are right now. She gifted the people with a sacred bundle containing the white buffalo calf pipe to help restore the balance. Upon leaving, the white buffalo calf woman prophesied that she will return at the end of an age and that she will appear as a white buffalo calf. In recent times, white buffalo calves have been born, leading many to believe that this is the beginning of a new time. When this card chooses you, it's an honor, for it speaks of a time of miracles and balances in all things. You are a channel for the greater forces of the universe. With their help, all is possible, but without it, things can be a struggle. Surrender to support from the Great Spirit. You do not have to do everything alone. And then there's a journey message, which is relatively short, so I'm going to share that. So, the journey. Shapeshift into the white buffalo, and the energy this card brings will multiply tenfold. Imagine that you can feel the power in your muscles and the fecund earth beneath your hooves. Feel the weight of your horns and the warmth of your hide. This calls the deeper energies of white buffalo into your life. So, for everybody, that's going to be your middle card, the white buffalo. Yeah, Linda, I know you've been sick. So she just says she has been really sick, Nancy. So it resonates.
Oh,
Thank you. So like I said, I don't use this deck too often. So the other card that came up was offerings, and it's beautiful that indigenous areas of other places in the world are um, um, supported in this deck. And we have Stonehenge, and Stonehenge was the place of honoring the earth, the sun, the moon, the renewal. It was another representation of the sacred year, how the native peoples have the medicine wheel and how that moves, and the different cultures in the desert and in the mountains. They find altars and shrines and stones that mark, the passing of the solstices. And Stonehenge is no different, and people still go there to honor, to give thanks, and to praise when the sun returns to us each day, especially at the solstices. And so the card about offerings, I feel like you're giving offerings because your other card is Spirit Keeper of the North. And the spirit keeper of the north is what it was where the white buffalo woman is associated on the medicine wheel, and so is the white buffalo. So this card feels like it's an acknowledgement, Linda, to your from your ancestors, that you give um, daily offerings. And when you're physically feeling well, you do physical offerings to the north, to your people, to Buffalo Woman, to all your brothers and sisters. The fur, people don't realize, are the animals, the crystals, the plants, the trees. Like in the beginning, those are all considered our brothers and sisters. Our fur, fin, and fur, wing. I'm doing it wrong, but everybody knows with the wings, the fins, the fur, we're all related. We all need each other to survive. And even like they said in the beginning, the creepy crawlies. So, spirit keeper of the north, the winter. Um, to me, this is an acknowledgement. Um, as a suggestion, make an offering to whatever nurtures your soul. So, to continue doing while you're not well, but making sure that not just offerings to your people, but they're saying remember to nurture your soul, to give back to yourself, um, and to honor that place within yourself, despite the pain, despite the times when we feel like we are broken, or we feel that we have nothing to offer or very little to offer. We always have something. It doesn't matter if we have physicality. It doesn't mean if we even have a voice or if we even have um, a way to communicate. Just energetically, our thoughts are prayers that we can give um, in under offerings to. And it says here, the first line, the universe is grateful for you. And you feel that when you give back, it's that threefold return. Um, cherish the preciousness of life and everyone and everything around you. Um, find what's good and wonderful in every moment. No matter what's happening around you, there's always something to be grateful for. So that's the offerings card. And for the spirit keeper, my dear, um, let me find spirit keeper of the north and let me see what jumps out for me. Come on, spirit keeper of the north. Um, Pulling the spirit keeper of the north indicates that it's time to take measures of your life. Explore what's working and what's not working. What and whom do you need to release? So this is about releasing, just like with winter, when we go deep within, we go within ourselves. It's quiet. We are the nights are longer. We have longer time to sleep, to dream, um, to meditate, to do shadow work, to honor our shadow and acknowledge the darkness um, that we all have in us. Because without the dark, there is no light. And the journey, it says stand outdoors at night, facing north, inhale the darkness, sink into your own depth. I love that. Sink into your own depth. In the stillness, ancient wisdom emerges. So that's what I have for you, Linda. Thank you for letting me read for you, sweetie. And I saw that Jeff came in. Hello, Jeff. Hi, hi, hi. Yep. Hi, hi, hi. So let's see. I've been really sick, so okay. Everyone's sending Linda
Yes.
healing, love, and support and light. We do have ancient shape shifting blood. Totally, everything's right on. Okay. All righty. So, Jackie, I know that you're late. So you might want to get to bed soon. I'm not sure, but we're just going to go ahead down the line on this one here, and we're going to do Jackie next.
Okay. Jackie, I have 3 cards for you.
Oh, wow, that was quick.
I was.
I know I was going on and on.
Yeah.
But I
No.
want to make sure the
No,
message.
you weren't.
Okay.
You were saying exactly what you were supposed to say. I just, you know, um, Jackie, the first card that I got for you is Embrace the Internal Mother. And I love this card for you. And it makes me think, we all have an internal mother. We have a higher self and we have an inner goddess, but we also have an internal mother. And Jackie, you need to nurture yourself like your mother would. You need to embrace this internal mother and give yourself some love. The second card is the card of joy. It is embrace the blessings of life. And I love this because those are hearts in the air all around her. And she's dancing. It looks like she's dancing on ice. I love it. She looks so happy and she looks joyful, and embrace the blessings of life because, when it's all said and done, we have many, many blessings in our lives. But the card I'm really excited about, I have never drawn this card before. This is from the Foxfire Kitsune deck. And a kitsune is a fox that has 7 tails. And this card is the gift of connection. And Jackie, I feel like this is you. You have got, more than probably anybody I know, the gift of connection. You are loved in every chat that you go into. And you just radiate this feeling of love and compassion and caring about how people are, and looking out for them in the chat, taking care of Scott. Our Scott needs some care sometimes, and you've always been there for him. And you have this, to me, it's a sacred gift because not everybody has this, there's just something about you that makes everything all right. And I just love this for you. And I love that it acknowledges what you do and what you are. That's what I have for you, Jackie.
So interesting. She says, "Oh, thank you, sweet Nancy." So the cards that I got for Linda, I put back into the deck. I shuffled. I went looking for White Buffalo, and the same cards were in the same place. I said, no, this was, let me make sure. I put the cards back in. I shuffled a second time. I went looking for the card. Same cards, same position. So, Jackie, Spirit saying, same reading for you. So, again, I got also the offerings card and the Spirit Keeper of the North. So, similar with Linda. Now, for you, Jackie, this is your backyard. So, I don't know how far you are, if you're able to even go there. But offerings, it feels like this card also is acknowledging, your answers are acknowledging that you honor them, you respect them, you respect the history. I don't know if you take pilgrimages there. I'm just wondering. I'm trying to remember where on the map. I think it's like Stonehenge is more down in the lower part of the United Kingdom, and then the rest, like Wales and the others, go upwards. If I'm right. So I'm wondering if the North, Spirit Keeper of the North, means that there you feel like there's an offering that you want to go there to make to your people. Not been there. Okay. Um, Maybe with the White Buffalo being here to bring balance. I don't know if there is you've been planning a trip to go there. And I'm wondering if you do, that helps bring the balance and helps you work with any of the shadow work that you need to work on. I feel like if you make a pilgrimage while the weather is still good, there's going to be some sort of balance there. You're going to resonate with some sort of balance, and there's going to be an offering that's going to be made. And that the wisdom, the balance you find within yourself, the balance that you experience is going to help you work through the shadow work, and the traumas and things. And when and shadow work doesn't always mean trauma. It could be things that we think about ourselves when we acknowledge our maybe our failures, or things that or goals that we didn't reach. People think shadow is such a horrible and dark and evil concept, but it's not. They're lessons, and I'm just feeling like, the sun is rising over. To me, it feels like it's rising up and over, and bringing that light, that insight to you, and then that wisdom and balance that you feel from that, you carry forward into the winter time, where you go within and you work with whatever energies that you need to release, anything that may not be of your higher good. So I hope that resonates, Jackie. My cousin lives near there. I'll try to arrange a visit during summer break. I'm feeling, I mean, it's like, here's Stonehenge, like you visit, here's the buffalo, white buffalo moving forward into the winter, bringing that balance that I feel like you may need. And for entertainment purposes only, YouTube, just saying that for for the algorithms to hear that. So um, that's what I have for you. And let me pull up who is next. And actually, next, let me just go close my door really quick. I'll be right back.
Jackie, if I ever make it over there, I want us to go to Stonehenge and I want us to go to Glastonbury. I got to get to Glastonbury. I got to.
Me too. I had a past life on Avalon. I want to go back and I want to reconnect.
Oh,
it's so beautiful. So we have,
let's go.
Let's go. Sure. Well, as soon as Shan hits that power valve, we're all going. Jackie, you're gonna have a big party coming to visit you. Yes. So Beth is here. Hello, Aspasia Rising. Well, there's always playback, so it's all good, my dear. And Fatima has also joined us. Hello, Fatima. Yes. Actually, it's supposed to be Fatima, and I was having myself a conversation with myself, saying, Heather, you have to learn to respect how someone's name is properly said. So, Fatima, I will try to make sure that I remember how to pronounce your name properly, my dear, because we do have a Fatima shrine here. And I was thinking to myself, I should go take a visit there. And I'm like, so why is it not hard for me to call the Fatima shrine but I can't call Fatima by her? You know what I mean? So yeah. And hello, Jessica.
Jackie and I'll have to go there too. Jackie, you'll have to research that. It starts with an A.
And Avebury. It's Avebury. There's another stone section out there called Avebury. Yep. There's a lot, even ones that some people don't get. And what people don't realize is that there is an American Stonehenge. Two of them. They actually recreated the one in England up in Washington. I believe it's Washington. They did they figured out what it looked like and did a recreation in Washington. But there is also one that does the solstice like the Stonehenge. It's called America Stonehenge, and it's in New Hampshire. It's in Salem, New Hampshire. Ooh. And now the other cat one's out. Excuse me, everybody. You cats are a pain in my butt.
Hi, Green Adventuring Tarot.
There you go.
So lovely to see you.
Green Adventuring is here. Hello.
I know Candy is. You know, I watched that video of her when she went to the Chalice Well and she walked in the water. I I just pretend
I
that's
cried.
I just yeah, I did too, but I pretend that's my feet.
Mm-hmm. Every time I
But
see
I
the
hope
pictures, I see the
that's
well.
the number one thing on my bucket list. I don't think I could make it up to the top of the tour, but I can do that. Mhm.
Mm. Well, Nancy, if we have to help you up there, we will.
Oh goodness.
I got the money and we're able to do it. What about the one with Margaret? I don't know who that is. I know that the one that Richie, Sandra, she does sometimes videos too because Sandra lives in Glastonbury too, and so does the lady of our cards, Rebecca Campbell. That's
Mm.
why she brings in a lot of
Mhm.
Glastonbury, and she has the tour in her cards. Um,
I don't know
but yeah.
about the one with Margaret. You mean the one that Candy did that has her friend Margaret with her? Is that what you're I don't I can't remember the name of her friend. Let's see, are we doing Amanda
Uh,
Tropical?
nope, we are doing the other Amanda, Mama Sushi.
Oh, okay. Well, I will keep these cards out then. Let's see.
And the other Amanda, Empress Amanda, the stones that you're talking about, those are the Georgia Guide stones that got destroyed. All these after being built in the 80s, someone bombed them and it destroyed them. They didn't like the messages that were on them. So as far as I know, the one in Washington, the recreation of Stonehenge, as far as I know, that is still built. And yes, there are snake thousands of years old in America curved up a hill. Yep, that's in the Ohio area. Um, I used to be able to remember those names just like that because I took an anthropology class in college. I can't remember the name, but yes, there are sacred sites such as that too here in America. Um, and Beth says Candy discovered a home where the mother Margaret was not buried with her children and husband in the family plot. You should find it. Oh,
I watched that. That's that when she went up the hill and found that stone house. Is that the one?
I am not sure. I'll let you know. So, Amanda, I'm sorry, Mama Sushi. We got two Amandas in chat. Mama Sushi, are you still here? I don't know if she had to go. We're still going to read for her. I know she might be attending to Aurora and she just might not be able to type. So I'm going to go ahead and still pull
Okay,
for Mama Sushi.
I'm working on it.
And Beth says probably very touching.
Yes, I love her videos. I love the one where she's in the she's taking a walk and there are bluebells everywhere. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous.
And Green Aventurine would like some healing. There's a request. I just cried at the dentist and feel like a fool. Don't. Because, you know, that's energy. There was a book called The Spirit of the Stones, and this girl was talking about her trips from South America up to Sedona, and that her one tooth would be in extreme pain. She would be suffering, and for her, that was energy, karmic energy, or things attached from past lives and in this life, and that's how they were surfacing in her body was through the pain in her teeth and having to have certain teeth worked on and removed to heal and to release. So there's don't be ashamed, my dear.
Mm.
We all have things that that affect us differently. And I'm gonna put Nancy on the big screen.
Um, Amanda, I have three beautiful cards for you. The first one is the card of generosity, and it says, "Be the divine flow of the goddess nature," and that's a beautiful aspiration, um, to be able to harness your goddess nature and just let it flow out on everyone. Um, Generosity of spirit. I love that. Um, the second one is seek wonder. And I know that you are just filled with wonder every day with your precious new baby. Um, I mean, there is just such wonder because every day there's something new. Every day there's something new. You see something new. She does something new. That first laugh. Oh, and some of those photographs and videos on Facebook that you've done. Oh my goodness, she is so precious. Uh, so seek wonder, and there's wonder all around us, and in these days and times, we need to look for the wonder. We need to look for the positivity. We need to find the positivity. We need to find the wonder that's so important to our spirit. And the final card I absolutely love for you. It is the Zen Garden. It is your inner sanctuary. And when things are upsetting and maybe not going the way you want them to, or just things that happen on a daily basis in your life, go within and find that sanctuary and just embrace it, and just don't let all of this stuff bother you. Just go within and find peace. That's what I have for you, Amanda.
Thank you. So we're getting some people are getting some similar cards tonight. So I guess this message, um, a lot of times when certain cards keep reappearing, it's a strong collective message for all of us. So Amanda, I pulled again the Spirit Keeper of the North, and I asked for a clarifier for this because I felt like I needed it. And I got owl medicine. Look at that beautiful owl. I love owl medicine. So for you, there are some things that you have shared recently. I don't know if it was in openly in any chats, or this might have been something you privately shared with me in email. And I will not air it, but I know that you're going through some stuff right now, sweetheart. And that's why I feel like the Spirit Keeper of the North came through for you. Because you have a lot of shadow work. You have some pain to go that you're dealing with, pains, some difficulties, kind of like the dark night of the soul kind of moments. But just know that when we go into that, like what the white buffalo said, when you go in, you feel that depth. Step into the depth of your feelings of who you are. That's where the healing takes place. And I ask for guidance for you on this. I got the owl medicine, and the owl is trust your perception. Ancient knowledge is emerging within you. This is about wisdom, clear illumination, intuition, clairvoyance, and again, deep insight. So again, we're going deep in again, along with the Spirit of the North. So going maybe into the winter months, starting to journal more, starting to meet with people that you can speak to share your experiences, um, to share grief, to share what you feel is loss, what you feel, transformations that you've gone through. Because sometimes we are allowed to grieve things that we no longer are, things that we've had to let go of, things and people that we used to be or used to have around with us. And that too is a part. You don't have to physically lose a loved one to go through a grief. Grief is very personal, it's very deep, it's very spiritual for all of us. And that owl medicine um, is about illumination and transformation. So when you start working through that process in coping skills, journaling, creativity, maybe going to groups, find people that you can talk to that can sit and hold space for you and honor your emotions and similar experiences that they have been through. Um, and so the journey I'm going to share with you, and this is great too. A lot of this is collective. So um, people can always watch this also on playback and write this down and do a part of a journey. Um, in the meditative state, imagine that you have shapeshifted into an owl and you are soaring silently through the night. Your ability to see even in the darkness, is remarkable. This corresponds with your ability to perceive the truth, even in murky situations in life. So, Amanda, that's perfect. That's beautiful, my dear. That's perfect for all of us. But that is very powerful, especially with things that you have shared with me. And your other card is Grandfather Sky. And we have Grandmother Earth and we have Grandfather Sky. Isn't that beautiful? And so let's just see really quick what Grandfather Sky, what lines jump out. If you allow your emotions and needs, and if you allow your emotions and needs the freedom to be spontaneously expressed, here we go again, expressing them creatively, however it is that needs to be expressed, to be released to the earth, to be grounded. Um, Waves of incredible energy will expand inside of you. Running on your own resources, it's easy to become drained. However, letting the divine light of the Creator flow through you easily replenishes your soul. And so, yes, for Grandfather Sky, it's about expansive energy, vitality, healing, passion. And I'm also grandfathers. If you have a grandfather that you were very close to, or somebody, whether it was by blood or by just association, that had that very beautiful grandfather energy, um, reach out, whether in spirit or in person. But I feel like this could be spirit as well. So that's what I have for you, Amanda. Much love to you, sweetie. And hello, Miss Nisa. You came in. I'll add you to the list. I don't know if we will have time. Um, but I will add you to the list. But again, as I said, these are these readings can be very deep, and sometimes it takes a lot of energy. And Nancy and I will get to as many as we possibly can. So thank you for being here. You look new to my chat. So let me just remove Linda here. Let me remove Jackie. Alrighty, Tropical Empress Amanda. And then we have Sonia after that. So Miss Nisa, I'm not sure if we will have time. Feel free to stay and chat and hang out with us. A lot of these readings are very collective, which means we all can take these messages and resonate with them. Um, we all have similar lives sometimes, and well, I don't say similar lives, but what's the word? It's like we have almost kind of like we have to work, we have family, we have to deal with health, all these kinds of things. And so when we Nancy and I do readings like this, even though it's not is specifically for one person, all areas, it's all wisdom that gets shared, that we can maybe some way incorporate that into who we are and into our daily lives. So, and good morning, Christina. Yes, Christina, I believe you said you're in New Zealand or Australia. So she's joining us. And usually she says, I got my first cup of tea in my hand. So good to see you, Christina. And so Amanda, Tropical Empress. I know she's been chatting. Yep, there she is. So I'm going to put Nancy in the big screen.
Amanda, I just drew two cards for you because one of the messages is kind of long, and I want to read it to you because I think it's very important. But the first card is the goddess Gaia, and it says wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual understanding. And I feel that that very much is you, Amanda. You have a wisdom and a knowledge, and you certainly have spiritual understanding. And I think that Spirit is acknowledging this. I feel like you love the goddess Gaia, and you appreciate her handiwork and the beautiful world around you. I love what's on the back of these cards too. Isn't that beautiful? But the major card that I drew for you is, let me see, what's the name of that deck? So I can tell you what it is. It's the Wild and Sacred Feminine deck. And the card that I got for you is Our Lady of Guadalupe, Unconditional Love. And I want to read you what it says in the book, because I think it's a very important message. And this is for you, Amanda. It says, when you draw the Virgin Mary as Our Lady of Guadalupe, prepare to be held by the Blessed Mother in that tender embrace who embraces whom. There is no past, no story, no unworthiness, just the experience of love itself arriving at your door, being greeted by love. Our Lady petitions you to welcome your own dear heart back. What if you never lack for love, only defend yourself against it? When those walls come down, an unconditional love for all of creation, including your perfectly imperfect self, can arise. Love joins with everything. Nothing is excluded. Centuries ago, Our Lady of Guadalupe, a potent fusion of the Catholic Mother Mary with Tonantzin, her Aztec mother goddess complement, appeared to an indigenous man on Tepeyak, the holy hill where Tonantzin had been worshipped, which is modern-day Mexico City. She requested that a temple be built on this site where she could offer solace to all who sought her help. No one is beyond the embrace of love, but to believe yourself unworthy is to cut yourself off from the source, the radiant mystery that resides at the center of your being. Even today, the Virgin of Guadalupe upholds the universal promise of motherly intercession. She is the nurturing force who hears your cries, dries your tears, and mends your broken heart. Let Our Lady stir in you the yearnings for mother and the calling to come home to yourself. As all the great mothers did before her, the Blessed Mother embodies the bond between the whole of existence and every aspect of itself. When you struggle to dwell in this love, you can always ask her for succor. But remember, where judgment resides, the Holy Mother cannot abide. Under her starry watch, out beyond right and wrong, no prayer is refused. When you sense the presence of such infinite love, you will know you have returned to the divine lap from whence you came. And that's what I have for you, Amanda. That's what.
Beautiful. Sonia?
That resonates.
Just a second here, Sonia. Sonia, I'm putting a message in the chat. I'm asking for a little favor, if it's okay with you. Here. Oh, I hate autocorrect.
Oh, I do too. Oh my goodness. I type stuff and it says the most ridiculous stuff and I'm embarrassed.
And they change it, and sometimes you're typing, they change it on you. I'm like, no, I wrote that for a reason. Okay, so Empress Amanda. Like I said, we're getting some similar cards today for everybody. So I want everyone in chat to really pay attention to the Spirit Keeper of the North. So again, the medicine wheel, this is the place of the North, the place of where we honor Buffalo Sacred Woman, where we're honoring the buffalo, where we are honoring the North is the place of the mountains, is of the bear, is of the wolf, it is of the buffalo. It is, in tarot, it represents the pentacles. It's the stability, the security, the spirituality. These all interconnect with the spirit of the North. and going within at night, especially as we're halfway through summer, and within 6 months, we're going to be into the winter again, into the winter months. And the buffalo was walking towards that keeper of the north, Amanda. So I asked for a clarifier to go along with the spirit keeper of the north, like I did the other one, and I got the fire, spirit of fire, and I want to share the spirit of the fire. Wait a minute, let me look at the cards here for a second. Okay, so removing buffalo. This is what is needed right here. Okay, so spirit of the fire. It's a card of transformation. And it's already obvious because you are going through new home. You shared some things last night about health and stuff, but that you're strong, that you persevere, you have faith, and you're there for people. You share your beautiful energy with people. You take the time for people. It says here, take risks. It says here, face your fears, break out of old patterns and conventions. Just because you've always done something in the past doesn't mean that you need to continue to do it in the future. Try something new. Change your routines and habits. Reach out in new directions. And I love this, Amanda. You ready for this? The Thunderbird is rising in you. Out of the ashes comes new growth and new beginnings. And here, really quick, Christina, honey, I'm sorry. Questions are closed for now, for tonight. I just asked Sonia if she could give Nissa her spot because I don't think we've ever read for Nissa, and I would like to be able to give her that opportunity. So, my apologies that I forgot to put the questions are closed clicker on here. Um, Thank you, Christine. I know you understand, sweetie. Next show, I do. We'll get your reading. And thank you, Sonia, for being so kind to let Nissa have your spot. So, with that, Amanda, the Thunderbird is rising in you. Out of the ashes comes new growth and new beginnings. That's like the phoenix rising out of the ashes. Um, it's the power. It's the gift from Creator. It's the power of renewal. And the other card that I got for you is beautiful. It's the medicine bag. And the medicine bag is a bag where we keep our sacred items, um, uh, gifts that represent our journey, gifts from spirit. This can vary from from people, different people. This could be a couple of crystals. This could be a locket. This could be, um, a feather. Whatever goes into they're talking about collecting in the book. It says to collect what spiritually is sacred to you and supports you, and to keep this in a medicine bag. Whether you wear it and you hide it, or you wear it and you show it, or you keep it somewhere in your sacred space as a reminder of your connection to spirit and your ancestors and your own spirituality, your own faith. Um, I know you said you're very spiritually open, so this could even be like little gifts, trinkets from people, little tiny stones, rocks, crystals, a bit of tobacco sometimes goes in traditional medicine bags, um, bits of herb, again, animal feathers or maybe fur. Um, One time I was able to have some fur. We actually had a buffalo sanctuary up in Flagstaff where former white buffaloes that ended up changing to a different color were brought to keep safe. And I got to see them. So I got to see actual buffaloes that were born white and that had parents that had given her, they were generations from a white buffalo that had been born. And at one time I had a little bit of that. I asked, I go, could I just along the fence, can I find a little piece of that white of a little bit of a buffalo fur? And I found a little bit, and unfortunately, moving between Arizona and New Hampshire to here, some of these sacred items got lost. But whatever is sacred and spiritual to you, shells, whatever it is that talks to you spiritually, can be put into this little bag. It doesn't have to be a lot of items, it could maybe be just one. You might be starting a journey and one little item, sacred item, at a time. And you can have multiple ones as well. But that's what I have for you, Amanda. Thank you for letting me read for you. And thank you again for my beautiful reading last night. I appreciate that. And Moira has joined us. And thank you, Christina. I'm glad I have chatters who understand, because sometimes they get upset. You know, I thought I was on the list, and it's just like, you know what? This takes a lot of energy, to do readings and to connect, for some of us. And Beth said, I mean, right? What the duck? I don't know what I missed there, Beth.
Well, I think she was talking about the autocorrect.
Oh, yes, what the
when
duck.
you were talking about
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm. And during all the readings, Garnet's been sharing insight and wisdom. Thank you, Garnet, for sharing. And so, Nancy, I have time. Thank you again. I don't know, Miss Nissa, are you still here? Sonia was willing to give you her space. Goodbye, Sonia. Thank you again, my dear. I hope Nissa is still here, Miss Nissa.
Hi, Sonia.
And hello, Sylvia. Want to holla at the divine feminines in the house? Holla, holla, holla. Oh, I wonder if she left because we told her she probably couldn't. Aw.
And Sonia's gone.
Mm-hmm. So just a couple more moments here. I'm all out of coffee.
Let's see. We've got
we do have Christina.
Pardon me?
We got Christina had asked for a reading. Oh no, Nessa's here. Okay, thank you, Miss Nissa.
Oh, good.
We weren't sure if you left chat or not. We just asked that when people request a reading.
And then we've got Green Adventuring. Is she here?
Oh, we have Green Adventuring. I just see her ask for one. Did I miss that?
I don't know. I must be seeing things.
Green Adventuring. I'm sorry, my dear. Had you asked for a reading? I can't go back up any further than.
But I thought she did. I don't know. Well, I pulled cards for her. Isn't she the one that went to the dentist? And
she was asking for healing energy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, boy, I had some wonderful cards for her.
Well, if she's still here, you can share them after.
Well, no, that's okay. Let's see who are we reading?
Miss Nissa.
Okay.
She says she is here. We just need for you to stay in chat with us, Miss Nissa, so that you can let us know, and we can tap into your energy. And Christina, what tarot deck are you using today? It's not a tarot deck, my dear. It's the Native Spirit Oracle deck, because we were discussing White Buffalo Calf Pipe Woman today. And so my readings are based on from the Native Spirit with the White Buffalo. So I'm going to mute.
Oh, that's awesome, Amanda. I get so excited when I find feathers. Okay, let's see. Miss Nissa, I have 3 cards for you. The first one is the last one I drew, and it is the card of sleep. It says to slow down. I don't know if you're trying to do too much or you're not sleeping well, but you need to slow down and get more sleep, relax, embrace the beauty around you and relax. The second card is a card from Kuan Yin, the goddess Kuan Yin. And this is what it says for you. Hear the yellow tiger mother. Sometimes we must be strong and hold true whilst all around us seems to be shifting and changing. The yellow tiger mother, Kuan Yin, in her guardian role, is roaring within you, reminding you that you are a powerful being of light. And even whilst you are in flow with universal forces, your strong roots help you stand your ground as your light shines true. And the final card that I have for you is the card that says, Believe in the impossible. And here's what it looks like. And what I'm looking at when I see this card, well, first of all, I see there's a crescent moon on her forehead. And I think that's beautiful. I think that might be intuition on your part. But what drew me in the card were the hummingbirds. And I went to my book that explains the different animals and birds and winged creatures and all that. And it says the hummingbird, this is the message from the hummingbird on these cards. You need to be very flexible with the twists and turns your life will take in the next days. Put more emotional sweetness in your life. You need it. You're going through some very heart-opening kinds of experiences, and you'll quite naturally draw more and more love into your life. Openly express the love you have and feel for those important people in your life. Give yourself the gift of as many flowers as you can. Spread them around your house and enjoy their sight and fragrance throughout the days to come. And that's what I have for you.
That's beautiful. And if you still have those cards set aside when I'm done reading for Miss Nissa, Green Adventuring says she is here. Her internet's
Oh,
being
wonderful.
difficult.
Wonderful.
So,
Okay,
and we had somebody.
I left them out. I left them out.
So we have a newcomer in our chat. I know I'm not going to pronounce your name properly, but Rajesh Harari. Um, welcome. Our questions are closed for the evening, but feel free to stay and hang out if you like. So, Miss Nissa, she goes, so nice. She loves flowers. So, Miss Nissa, I got Grandmother Earth for you. And Grandmother Earth, I haven't read from the book on her today, so let's see what special message. I know the basis of Grandmother Earth. She's the one that loves and supports us, nurtures us, provides us to harvest the food that we eat, gives us everything that we need to clothe and shelter ourselves, the animals to eat to survive, the plants. Everything comes from her, the Great Mother. But let's see here. So let's see what she's got to say here. So her message is to you is about putting your roots down. This is the time of preparation and going deeper. There is a profound source of strength and power within you. You need to get grounded, assess where you are, and assess who you are and where you are. That's beautiful. And a beautiful for the journey. This is something that we can all do. That's part of Grandmother Earth here, is to deepen your connection to Grandmother Earth and bring security in all forms into your life. Walk barefoot on the earth, place your hands in the earth, or make investments. Imagine the strengthening, grounding energy of the earth filling you and your life. That's beautiful. And again, gee, what could next be the next card, Nancy? Almost every single reading. And this makes sense because we are connecting with the white buffalo calf woman. Her place and the white buffalo's place is in the north. The keeper of wisdom, the keeper of knowledge, the keeper of rebirth, going deep within It's a place of balance where we learn. I know, Jackie, isn't this crazy? It's crazy cool. Um, so
Beautiful.
being in going in the north, being in that place, in that state of mind, like the other card, Grandmother Earth, and the north, it's the place of the earth on the medicine wheel. So the message is you really need to get grounded, my dear, because the white buffalo is all about bringing balance and the sacredness of everyone, including ourselves, back to earth, bringing everybody back into balance, including the earth itself, and how we treat her and the animals, um, that she gives us, the sustenance that she gives us. And the spirit keeper of the north is going in, working, getting to the root of our fears, of what we need to heal, things that are things that are beautiful about ourselves that other people might think is a negative. Um, that might be, you might enjoy tarot cards, but people say, oh, that's evil, or you look at other spirituality, oh, that's not following scripture or book or something, you know getting past certain fears and learning to listen to your own inner voice, because when it's winter and that snow is falling and there's that beautiful silence, those long silent nights where we get to sit within ourselves and we get to be able to listen to what our souls and our hearts are saying and sharing with us. So if this is a beautiful card, it's been for everybody. um yeah. And I think too, and Jeff knows I do not do politics on my channel, but the winter comes, around November, December, and we are having a lot of changes in our country. I don't know about other countries around the world, but we have elections this year, and there's going to be a great, profound change coming. And the timing of the white buffalo reminding us to be in balance, to try to love one another, see what we have that's similar and in common, and embracing that instead of allowing people to use that as teaching us to use it as a weapon against one another. So going into this winter, there's going to be a lot of changes. There may be a lot of darkness. There might be beautiful new rebirths, because we're all as a collective going into this next half of the year into winter. Remember the beautiful gift of that white buffalo and the reminder of balance that we all need, and that the grandmother earth is here. She is our home, and we need to take care of her better and her animals. And that's what I have. And let me just go back here. The UK just had elections last week, France too. I heard about France, and they're having an issue with a white supremacist um, uh, party that seems to keep winning. And I think they're trying to combat that, and they keep trying to redo elections. So the world is struggling right now. And really, what we need is love,
Yes.
a lot of love and light. I mean, we're not going to be able to fully eradicate the evil, the hatred, the darkness, that kind of darkness, because because those people, those things, those events, those energies show us how important, how beautiful the light is. I
Yes.
mean, we can bring the light and the positive, we can, make it more than the dark, but there needs to be, unfortunately, a balance that needs to be maintained, apparently. But you just have to all, try to, and like I was saying last night with Jeff, we all really need to just stay within, try not to watch so much news, try not let the news put the fear in us, try not let it cause the anger, the hatred. um I mean, it's a struggle for me too. I live in the red area, and that's all I see in my face day in and day out. And so I get angry, I use choice words, and then it's like, okay, but we have to have love for each other, and it's hard. It's a struggle. This is a spiritual, I think this is a spiritual challenge. I think this is really like spirit saying, okay, a lot of the people who are, you know, work saying that they're spiritual and they're light and they're the woo and all that, kind of putting us to the grindstone, to the test, and trying to see what really rises above. And I don't mean rising above as someone being better than the other, because sometimes we have to stay in a lower vibration to learn our lessons before we can raise up to a higher one, if that makes sense. I hope I'm not going off on a tangent, Nancy.
No, I really like what Amanda said. Tropical Empress in spirit. Sometimes we have to see the dark before we can appreciate the light. And then Beth goes on, and then Garnet. But you know, I'm just, not to get off on a tangent, I don't mean that, but I'm just wondering, you know, maybe whatever, I mean, and I have no idea, none of us do, but maybe whatever happens is what's supposed to happen. And then we go from there. And what we have to do is to show love and gratitude and light, radiate light into a world that is very troubled. I mean, it's not just us, it's the whole world, you know. And that's why I think it's so important that we be positive and we look for the good in as much as we possibly can, because you know, when you see somebody that's just down and out in the supermarket,
and Jackie,
you smile, you know, and you know, say hey or something like that. I mean, that means a lot to somebody, you know. It really does, because you don't see that much anymore.
Oh, we're so glad to have met you two today, Miss Nissa.
Yes.
And I love your Bigfoot, my fella, that we're going to be starting our 24th year together in October. When he was younger, he actually saw one. They are real. Shan saw a Bigfoot.
Really?
When he was younger, when he was camping with his dad in Washington.
I don't doubt that at all. I'm not sure what it is, but you know, it's
exactly what, you know, he went down to, he had to get something in the middle of the night for the horses, water or something, went down to the creek or the river or the water, wherever that was, he had said. And he heard something, looked over, and there was one hunched right over at the water, you know, looked up at him, lifted up, and he said he took and ran right off. And his one friend that he grew up with was one of his friends. His father was one of the two guys that took that famous footage of the female Bigfoot.
Yeah. Well, I believe that
they're real.
Listen,
they really are. However interdimensional, they high, but whatever it is, he says, I can say I saw one, and it wasn't a bear. It was, you know. And he says he ran back to his tent, sealed it down, and he heard it, you know, something moving around, and he said he was just so. But yeah,
I wouldn't think that Bigfoot would tippy toe.
Yeah, he heard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Might have been my brother-in-law, Moira. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, and you know what, Miss Nissa, we're my fellow's is from Oregon. He's an Oregonian, and we're I keep wanting to say hopefully we're going to be there next year. We're going to be there next year.
Yes.
And so at some point, who knows, we might cross paths, and I may even get to experience a Bigfoot. You never know. And hello, Delphi Ross. My husband was MAGA, always been blue, and he liked to expose me that expose you that you were a Democrat. I just tell him justice will be done. You know, we can't show that around here, because if I were to put something anti, 45 on my car, it probably would be vandalized. It probably would be. So,
let's see. We've got
stay in your truth.
We've got Green Adventuring.
Green Adventuring. Yes. So
yes.
I digress. Let me give you over to Green Adventuring. And even if she, remember, she says her internet's a little wonky.
Okay.
So,
I pulled 3 cards. Well, I pulled 3 cards for you, but 2 cards came out of the same deck. So I'm going to honor them both for you. The first one is the Healing Stones. Tenderness, care, gentleness, and nourishment. And I want you to look at this. And
Boy.
I don't know if you have crystals or you work with crystals, but you can set an intention of healing or peace or, you know, whatever you want in your life, and set some crystals out. These, it looks to me like, are clear quartz. And let me see. Looks like that might be rose quartz that he's holding over his heart. But anyway, it's a card of tenderness, care, gentleness, and nourishment. And this is what you might want to do. It will, and you can look at it every day and think of the intention that you set out with these crystals, and believe that it's going to come true. The second card that came out of the same deck is Not Forgotten. Messages from Spirit, Unbroken Connection. And I feel that your angels and spirit guides are very, very close to you right now. And if you look at this, that is you, and see the light that you have within you. And you have your guides and your ancestors all around you. You are not alone. And I don't know if you communicate with your angels and spirit guides, but if you are open to that, they will help you, and they will communicate with you. It'll be this gut feeling that you feel, or this voice in your head that you hear. It may be your voice, but it's them speaking to you. The final card I have for you is from the Kuan Yin deck, and it is Mother Fierce. And this is what it says. Mother Fierce is your guardian. Nothing can penetrate the passionate fire of her fearless love. Your safety is assured in the midst of any apparent challenge or threat, no matter how frightening it may seem, no matter how insecure you might feel about taking a step on your spiritual path into more power. Know that you are safe and you are protected and you are loved. And that's what I have for you.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's see. I wasn't planning on, I didn't know Green Adventuring was wanting one. So Green Adventuring, let's just see really quick what we get for you. We've got a few more minutes. And we thank everybody. Nancy, we had like over 15 people today at one point.
How many?
So thank you. 15. So this is one of my
I saw 17.
17. Well, there you go. And wait a minute, Ginger, don't you have a show going on right now?
What the day?
Wait a minute. Or is that in half an hour? Or 15 minutes? I know. What the fay?
Oh,
for anybody who doesn't know what we're saying, Nancy, or like what, this is Ginger Faye, Tarot and Divine Musings. She loves the fairy, the fae. And so her favorite saying that we all say now is "what the fae." It's a much nicer than saying the "what the duck."
While you're pulling your cards, Heather, I'll tell Ginger that I started watching the replay of our pajama party.
Oh no,
we had so much fun. It's great.
Yes.
You got to watch it, Ginger. You look wonderful. I'm the one that's schlepping around with my pajamas on backwards. You know, you look gorgeous.
Oh, and hello, TK. Wonderful, wonderful. Good to see you. So, I'm not Ginger. Green Adventuring. I did get Walking in Beauty, and that's a beautiful saying that the Navajo have to say. I walk in beauty. I speak in beauty. I see in beauty. I can't remember exactly, but it's looking at life through the eyes of love, of beauty, of everything. Again, this is something really important for right now, that when there's so much dark and evil behavior and words and thoughts and energy just being constantly bombarded at us, it's sometimes it just, it colors our vision of the world, of life. And we have to remember that there is beauty. We just have to find it, and it starts within us. And so keep walking that beautiful spiritual path. Do not falter. Continue sharing your knowledge, sharing your love with people, and being a beautiful energy. It feels like you sometimes people get drawn to you, that you get a lot of the smiles, or you get the kids that look at you, or the pets that oh, they don't go up to strangers and they come up and they start saying hello. It's just being able, you just have that beautiful sense of walking in beauty. All of us can. And then your other card, to go along with the white buffalo, the medicine bay came up again. And
Oh,
Amanda had said she had just come across a feather or something, she said yesterday. So the medicine bags again, a bag or a pouch. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be leather if you don't want to use animal. It could be any type of fabric, where we contain in it items that are sacred to us, spiritually sacred, or touch our heart. Like I have a crystal that one day, when that one little holder might break, I will probably put it into a medicine bag. It had been a gift from Miss Tarot D. I will probably put that in there. I have, crystals, or little stones that some of my grandnieces and nephews found when they were younger, and they gave to me. So little things. I have owl feathers. So whatever little things that are sacred and beautiful to you, and that bring joy and makes you feel like you're closer to whatever's, to your true spirit, to your spiritual practice, and to whoever your divine higher power is. That's beautiful, because it is medicine. It gives our soul joy. It gives our soul nourishment. It gives us a sense of hope. And yeah, faith and hope.
yes. We've got to have hope.
Yeah,
We have to have hope.
we can't let them win.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Nancy, do you
Nobody
have?
said it was going to be easy.
No, no, they did not. And Nancy, do you have anything coming up? Any collapse this week?
I don't, I don't, I don't know. I'm not, I don't think so.
She
I don't,
might, because sometimes during the week lately, I'd be like, "Oh, I want to do the spread." Nancy, you doing
yeah.
something? You never know. Never know where
Yeah.
Nancy might pop up.
I don't think so, but I could be wrong.
Um, so tomorrow I have medium Betsy Palmer
Ooh.
joining me at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which makes it 2 p.m. Hawaiian, because Hawaii's like 6 hours
Yes.
behind us. So tomorrow night at 8, here with medium Betsy Palmer. She's fabulous. I
Yes.
had a reading with her recently, and
Mm.
she's no holds barred. She will tell you like it is.
Yes.
She doesn't sugarcoat. She'll say it respectfully, but she doesn't sugarcoat, or like Allison says, unicorn dust and farts and stuff. you know, when the cards are good, she'll tell you they're good. When a message comes through, something you got to hear, you are going to hear it. So, like Allison. So, yeah. So that's tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And then Wednesday, I am a guest on Tarot Stash at 2 p.m. We're
Oh
going to
boy.
have a silly
I'm
casual
sure I watched that.
and do some readings. And then Friday, if all goes well, Allison and I will be back here on Friday night at 8 o'clock. So, and oh, hi, Judith. She wanted to pop on and say hi to us.
Hey,
Thank
Judith.
you, Judith.
Mwah.
Yes. And so, with that, we'll see everybody in another chat or on another show. And thank you again, and have a great week. Bye.
Bye bye, everybody.
Mwah.
Mwah.